Today is a great day, ladies and gentlemen, of Sparking Zero because we just got a patch that damn near fixed everything. Apart from the rage quits, which I actually do believe is low-key being fixed as we speak, and I'll get into the reasons why I believe that later in the video. But let's talk about the good things first and why we all should be so happy to get rid of all these cheesy, no skill, weak ass players. You feel me? Shout out to Slow Plays. I'm pulling these patch notes directly from his tweet and from my own experience with playing the game this morning. So let's get into it. I'm just gonna go down the list. So first things first, all stages are available for local play. Now, this personally does not affect me because I don't have anyone come over to play the game with me. I believe Sparking Zero, its defensive system is way too vast for someone to just come over and just pick it up, unless they just have like the most OP character, which kind of a lot of these characters got nerfed now. So I mean, not that I'm complaining, I don't give a damn. I use Ultimate Gohan. So anyways, next, the new battle setup display, honestly it looks like how it should have looked at the beginning of the game, where you have one character where you have one character from an era of Dragon Ball and it just shows all different transformations. I think that should have been a thing like from the jump, and it's fixes like these that make me think that the game that we were playing wasn't really the full game. It makes me feel like it was like the beta, like everyone keeps saying. But I mean, regardless of it being the beta and whatnot, I'm glad that Bandai is actually listening. A lot of people have been saying that, yeah, Bandai isn't going to listen, they're just going to take their money and go, but it seems like they really care about this game. And if they don't fix things, like when we fans talk about it, then their game will just basically die, and they don't want that. Now on to the next one. In ranked match and in player match, you can now skip the cutscenes or the intros. Now me personally, in my experience, I have tried to skip it every time, and I've only gotten a few people that would skip it as well. Now I don't know if they just didn't notice that it was there or what, if everyone has it or not. Let me know in the comments if you can actually skip your cutscene as well. I know I can, and I'll always opt to do so. Now next, you can now reveal or hide your team from your opponent in DP battle. Now me personally, this isn't something that I've used, and I'm not even actually sure how you can use it, and I'm fairly certain that most of you guys would not reveal your team to the opposite opponent so that they could formulate a strategy. It's just one of those things that maybe if you want to reveal it to them to kind of be cocky, like, yeah, this is what I have, you're still not going to win, something like that. Next, you cannot be stunned by Ki Blast when doing a charge melee. Furthermore, when you're doing a charge melee, the time that it needs to charge is reduced based on your hit count prior to charging the attack. Now me personally, I love this, and it makes a capsule that I used to use kind of useless, which was melee charge 3, because now I know for a fact I'm going to get some combos off and probably end it with a charge to extend my combo, and there's not going to be nothing my opponent can do about it, because you know what I mean, I'm comboing them, and when I charge them with the attack, they're going to be stunned for a little while. So I personally think that's a good thing. If you have melee charge 3, take that shit off, because you probably don't need it anymore if you know how to combo. Next, rush Ki Blasts have been nerfed. Now you have to wait a window of time after you fired the maximum amount of Ki Blasts consecutively. So all those Brolys, those Keflas, those Beeruses, the Bandai just said fuck you, bro, because they hate the fact that it's people who play like this. They know that this is not a game. I hate the term party game, people keep throwing it around. I think fun trumps a damn party game every time, because if this is what a party game is supposed to be like, then I mean, that's gonna start a lot of fights and arguments. Granted, a lot of party games also do that, but this isn't fun, you feel me? Spamming the same mindless Ki Blast just to go into ultimate is not fun. It's not something interesting. It's not Dragon Ball Z like. It's not good for the brand, to be honest, and even Bandai knows it. So all you guys who use that, I mean, just get off the game. I even noticed while I was playing that I got less of that because it's more counterable. And following that one, you can now move out the flooded Ki Blast, making it even more useless. And this is a function that I really think should have been the game from the jump, because it led to a lot of people exploiting it. No more. Steps. You will no longer be hit by certain attacks when taking a step. So I would imagine this will basically mean, let's say you're doing a combo XXXXX combo, and then you want to do a step in. They can't just hit you and stun you with a certain attack to stop your combo. This is what I think it might mean, because I found myself getting off a lot of those XXX step in combos leading into more combos. The amount of key for Z burst dash has been extended from 1 bar to 2 bars, but there's a certain capsule accounts that will let you Z-burst dash without using any key. I use that one because I'm a very aggressive player. I don't like letting people go into instant spark. I love pulling off combos, and yeah, this is why I use that. Now, I've only had to use it for this patch because 2 bars is too much to use for a Z-burst dash when you're fighting against people who are using characters much more powerful than yours. You might want to use a capsule to eliminate the need for energy when trying to do a Z-burst dash. The damage for blast has been increased when using the boost button. This doesn't really affect me because I use Ultimate Gohan, and basically all of his attacks are just rush attacks. Basically Z search, now this is something that I've been waiting for. This is one of the most stupid mechanics in a game. Why is it that when I get hit by an ultimate or anything of that sort, I can't see my opponent even though I'm looking right in front of them? I have played the game for this patch and it seems like they've pretty much fixed this. You aren't really losing track of them as bad as it used to be, and this is basically what this one is saying now. For revenge counters, the skill count consumed using perception against revenge counter has been reduced from 2 to 1. Now, me personally, I never really used this. I found it very useless because you had to use 2 whole skill points to do that. But now that it's reduced to 1, it makes it more of a viable strategy for me to use it in my gameplay. Rush attacks during sparking mode. This is for those of you guys who don't know how to do a super counter. You know, the counter that stops you from getting back shots. So rush attacks during sparking mode now gradually have a damage drop off instead of just doing so much damage where a person just spam you down with rush attacks. So you can say thank you to Bandai for that one. This one talks about combos. I don't really care about that one. Basically saying that final attack of aerial combos and aerial slash combos will no longer be interrupted by guarding. Don't care about that. Character switch. This is for DP battle. Health recovery rate and standby for characters has been reduced. So basically, you're not going to drop a character out and have them come back at full health just like that. Skills that cause instant sparking, skill count consumed has been increased, which is something that was needed so bad because all these overpowered characters would just straight up spam auto spark. I think it's been increased to 4 now, which I think is very, very good. I love that. This is the big one, y'all, that everyone's been waiting for. After image strike has been reduced to 10 seconds and will be removed if the opponent uses perception while you're under the effect. So I've been fighting people after image strike, and my only really countermeasure is to use my ki blast and grab them. And when I use my perception, they would just disappear again behind me. I've had situations where I perceive them multiple times because I'm actually good at the game and they're not, and they would still disappear behind me. Now I find myself out of ki and out of options. This gives you an option. This is actual counterplay, and I like that. I'm a real big fan of that one, Bandai. Now all you after image strike abusers are going to have to actually get good at the game. The all I need is 5 seconds ability from Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Skill count consumed has been reduced from 3 to 2 upon activation. Now Stardust Barrier can be activated while receiving melee from other opponents. I think this is good because it actually makes it viable instead of you having to time it when coming against opponents. It makes more sense now. Long range blasts and ultimate attacks have been reduced in speed. I think this is a good thing, especially for characters with unblockables. It makes it a lot easier to vanish things, especially when you coming up against a base Goku or a Broly. Super Vegeto's final Kamehameha ki consumed and damage has been increased. It doesn't really affect me. I don't use Super Vegito. Goku Mini quick rush trajectory can now be changed while rushing. That's pretty interesting. I might actually use Goku Mini now. Hercule, I don't like calling him Mr. Satan. I'm just calling him Hercule. His present bomb has increased ending lag after activation. I don't know what that means. Android 19 Dr. Gero. Health key amount absorbed on successful throw been adjusted. So basically it's been reduced. I like that. I'm a big fan of that. Fuck them androids, pussies. Anyways, Dragon Dash, Quick Ascend, and Quick Descend now consume ki. Yeah, fuck them androids. The hell? Cell's second form, you can now escape his throw. I'm a huge fan of that. Huge fan of that. Cooler, the amount of health upon transforming has been increased. I don't really use Cooler, that doesn't affect me. Giant characters, increased time it takes to charge a smash attack and reduced its power. That doesn't affect me either because I don't use giants. Also, on top of that, I don't like fighting giants, but I mean, once you get the hang of it, they're pretty easy to fight. Others just basically saying they improved the game in other ways that you probably won't be able to perceive unless you actually play the game. But yeah, guys, those are the patches. Those are all the good things. And I have directly noticed a difference in gameplay while playing this game. There are still people who cheat, of course. There are still people who use OP characters and use unblockables back to back to back, but I have noticed a lot less of them. It's not as rampant. A lot of these guys that use these exploits that I listed were debuffed. You don't see a lot of Super Vegetos anymore. You don't see a lot of Brolys anymore. The night before this patch came out, I seen a bunch of Brolys. They was trying to get their last little bit of cheese in before the patch came, because they know that when this patch came, they were going to be basically kicked off the game, booed off the stage. All these are all good things, but what about the rage quits? I fought a guy who was a S2, fake ass S2. He kept trying to use the same move on me, the MUI Goku. And when he found out that that shit wasn't going to work on me, he quit the game. Damn. So guess what? That was points that I should have gotten. But I still have hope for this game when it comes to fixing rage quits. Because a couple of days ago, and you may not believe me, I didn't get it on camera because when I first started playing the game while warming up, I don't actually stream it or record it. But I was playing and I got the notification that my opponent has forfeited. It's the same text that you have when it says you're waiting for an opponent, or it says that you actually found the opponent, except it will say your opponent has forfeited. And I actually got the points and everything. Like, it was crazy. And I was like, yes, I was so happy. I was like, yes, they finally fixed it. But then literally right after that, I had 3 people rage quit on me. Now, I'm not sure if forfeiting versus rage quitting is an actual option. Do you have to go into the menu like whilst in the game and actually forfeit the match? Or is it just based on whether or not you disconnect or not? That is something I do not know. And in that case, everyone that's rage quitting on you is just opting to rage quit on you and not give you your points on purpose. Or maybe they actually are working on rage quitting with the forfeiting option. They just haven't really ironed out the kinks yet. This game still crashes a lot. Now, I'm gonna say this. A lot of these guys, they're very shameless about rage quitting. They don't give a fuck. So it's gonna take a lot for our developers to actually fix this issue. And I hope that the forfeiting thing that I saw wasn't just a dream or hallucination. Now, I did wake up early in the morning to play the game. Perhaps I may have still been dreaming, but a lot of people can confirm that they have saw this at least once or twice as well. So I think they're just ironing out the kinks and trying to make sure that it's perfect for us to have an eventually complete game. But the way the game is now after this patch, it's already a drastic improvement over what it was. And I believe that all of us players with skill and who want to actually learn and play the game and have fun can actually have fun without all these lames playing the game with us, because they ruin the game. Let's be honest. Fun trumps lore accurate every fucking time. But let me know what you guys think about this video in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Love you guys. Peace.